Okay, we are officially live here. So welcome to the first guitarcollection.com live stream in now, oh my gosh, maybe 4 weeks. Maybe it's been 4 weeks since I've seen you all. So nice to be back. Definitely if you're tuning in now, say hello. Let me know that you're watching. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're watching this in the future, don't forget that you can go to the little scroll bar at the bottom of the video and use timestamps to see when I start presenting particular or specific guitars that I have here. But yeah, it's so great to be back. Oh my gosh, I've been traveling a whole lot. I've been in Germany, Romania, and Mauritius in the past 3-4 weeks. And here in Austin, Texas, I am back to work. I am shipping guitars. I am recording videos. I am playing a lot of guitar. And actually, beginning tomorrow, artists arrive in town for my nonprofit, Exequo, where 4 guitarists under the age of 25 will be recording an album with Drew Henderson, amazing recording engineer and guitar player, of course. And they are going to perform a concert here at the Rosette, and we're going to have people like Matt Hensley, who's the director of ACG, Austin Classical Guitar, here speak to them, and they'll have great coachings, and of course they're going to come over here and play some guitars. So maybe you'll see some little clips from that on my Instagram. But yes, super busy time. In Germany, I visited 10 luthiers, 10 amazing luthiers, brought back 2 amazing guitars with me. And it was just a spectacular time. And the weather was cooler than it is here. It's here in Austin, it is very hot. And the cicadas, there's this just buzzing of these bugs, these cicadas outside. Right now it's at a very low level, but every now and then it spikes and you'll be able to hear it through the microphone. So it's kind of funny. Anyways, we'll get started soon. I've got 4 amazing guitars to show you guys today. As you can see from the title of this video, they're really something else. A couple of them I have videos on already, and then others, these are brand new arrivals that I think they've all been photographed, but yeah, no videos on several of these. Let's see who is tuned in so far. If you're just tuning in now, definitely say hello. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know where you're tuning in from or what guitar's in your lap. Okay, we've got Dietmar Heubner, who I visited in Berlin here, tuned in. Oh, that's awesome. Hey, what's up, Dietmar? Paul M., greetings from Ann Arbor. Awesome. Nice to see you, Paul. And Don from LA. Good to see you, Don. Dennis, all right, in Canada. Good to see you. Pierre from France. All right, we got people from all over. So far, Canada, USA, Germany, and France. So that's pretty sweet. The architects here from Miami. Sweet. Oh, man. You've got the benefit. See, Miami and Florida in general. I'm from Florida, Tampa, Florida. You guys got the benefit of being on the water, whereas here in Austin, it's just heat. So, well, and you get a bit of a breeze, I think. But I'm not complaining. I've got the air cranked down low, and I am not stopping it for this stream. Normally, I want it to be dead silent in here. But today I'm not stopping it because it is hot. And I don't want to ruin the French polish on these guitars, you know. You guys like the coffee cup here? It's a bagel place here in Austin called Nervous Charlie's. And we had an amazing bagel this morning. Really amazing. So let me just give you an overview of what I'm going to be showing you today. Starting off with a maker that I have not played a guitar of yet before, and this thing is awesome. This is by Tobias Berg from the year 2021, and this is a guitar all about details and all about really amazing traditional sound, honestly. I mean, aesthetically, I have to say I love all of the touches on this guitar. The cedar top is beautiful. The rosette is just spectacular. And I have professional photos of this guitar too, so let me know if you're interested. It's not on the website yet, but it's just a beautiful rosette. Very simple, honestly. There's not details here on the tie block to note. You know, this bridge is Indian rosewood, but everything is done so, so well. Look at the head on this guitar. If it ever stops focusing on my head. Yep, there you go. Look how beautifully it's carved. The tuners here, very nice. And you got the back and sides Indian rosewood. It's a traditional guitar, huge sound, which we'll definitely get more into once I start the presentation on the guitar. And I'll show you a little bit of this book that he included of the build process of this exact guitar. So you flip through it, and there's all these pages, including a certificate, showing the building process, which I've never seen before. And I think that is the classiest touch to include with the guitar, because, you know, you find yourself showing this nice guitar that you bought, you know, to someone in your family or to friends, and they don't really get it, right? They think you rolled up to, you know, Guitar Center or something and spent $100 on a new guitar, and that's it, right? But you get to show them something like this while you're showing them the guitar, and I think that's so cool. You say, oh yeah, look, it's all built by hand, and here's the process that it went that they go through, and here's the label, and before it's put on the guitar, and all the way till the French polishing at the end. I mean, I'll show you in a little bit, but what do you guys think? It'd be so cool if every guitar came with one of these, but yeah. And this is a Tobias Berg from the year 2021. And it is just so much fun to play. We'll get to more of it in a second. The second guitar I'm going to be showing you today is by the American luthier, Eric Sahlin. Now, he is a very, very well-known American luthier making super great traditional guitars. Again, all of these are traditional guitars today, loosely defined as traditional, because, of course, they have different bracing. Some of them have very modern features, like a raised fingerboard, like on the Douglas Scott. And they all have modern-leaning sounds. I mean, even including the Daniel Friederich, which, of course, you know, from the 90s. It's not like the earliest Friederich ever, but it's a very modern-leaning sound that's beautiful. But this is made by Eric Sahlin, which is in Spokane, Washington. I was going to say Seattle, Washington. Based in Spokane, Washington. And just take a look at the rosette of this guitar. I mean, it's really beautiful. With that abalone inlay, very, very nice. Then we've got Indian rosewood on the back and sides. Really nice graph tuners. You don't see these too much anymore because he's, for the large part, retired. But let's let it focus for a moment. Yeah, oops. It's really in and out between focusing on my arm hair and these tuners. But yeah, a little sound test, a little chord test on this guitar. Has this resonant low end that's super. It's deep but crisp. There's this real there's a brightness to the sound. There's a clarity to the sound that's very glassy. Really nice. Okay. Then the third guitar that I'm going to be showing to you is a let's just say a giant step up in price, but it's a absolutely legendary guitar, which I've actually had before. Now, for unforeseen circumstances, the person that I had previously sold this guitar to is unable to hold on to this, so now I am selling this again. But this is a really special Friederich. It's the first Friederich that I've ever reviewed on this channel, and this video has quite a lot of nice comments and views, and it's one of those videos that I listen back to sometimes and I think like, okay, that's the sound. And it's just a very special Friederich for a number of reasons. Of course, number one, the sound. But number two is certainly the condition this thing is in. It is in near perfect condition. For being 1994 and one of the best Friederich guitars that I've played, it's spectacular. There's one blemish, which is right here. This is not a hole or anything like that. What this is a rag that was left on this guitar inside the case for like something like 10, 20 years. And the rack had a little bit of guitar polish on it, and it eventually wore into the top. And so there's a little bit of discoloration right at that one spot, but it's not anything you would ever notice. It is like, it just looks like a little darker piece of wood there or something. But yeah, it's an amazing Friederich. Of course, you can see all of the intricate details he does on the head here. This is, of course, a concert model of his. And this headstock is actually Brazilian rosewood. I have professional photos of this guitar too. We have Rogers tuners of the highest quality on this thing. Check it out. Really nice tuners. And a very, very low action, which just makes this one of the most playable guitars on the planet. Let me just play a couple of chords for you. Sorry, it's a little out of tune. Just listen to this. It has one of the most beautiful treble strings. One of the most beautiful treble sounds that I've ever heard on a guitar. This is a guitar that, you know how I have a case back there, which a Matthias Dahmen guitar belongs in that case. But I also have one next to me here that's never in shot of the camera. And for a long time, I was keeping this guitar inside that case, and I would take it out every day and play this thinking, I'm not going to sell this guitar. But it is really something else. You know, it's overall got this really warm sound. Of course, it's a cedar top, right? But when you push in this guitar, it just sounds so bright in Spanish. And it's got this Friederich hum to it. That's just like all the notes have this like really, really royal quality. Okay, I gotta move on, but this is just a preview of all the guitars I'm showing you today. I really gotta hurry up and get to entire presentations of these guitars. Ivan, good to see you. From Ivan to Evan. From Evan to Ivan here. Good to see you from Singapore. Awesome. Okay, moving on to the last guitar that I'll present to you today, which is from Douglas Scott. This is brand new, built for my shop from the year 2025. Now, this is a traditionally braced guitar that has all sorts of modern features. We have a raised fingerboard. Sorry, I combined two features there. A raised fingerboard, giving you better access to the upper frets. We've got sound ports, and we've got a little miniature tornavos here. So it's very small. It goes this deep into the guitar, and it's made of ebony. And what Douglas told me is that it's his way of offsetting the main air resonance change that the sound ports bring. So sound ports on a guitar bring the main body resonance of the guitar up, higher pitch. And then when you have a tornavos, whatever size, it brings it down. So this is a very small tornavos, again, only about this deep into the guitar, and it offsets that small change that these small holes make. And in result, you don't lose any of the depth that the guitar has by having these sound ports. And it's got a lot of volume. It's obviously a very thin top with very light braces because it's still quite light of guitar. And by the way, Wenge back and sides, which looks incredible on this guitar. And a neck that is C-shaped, very round. It's to my spec. Now, it's been 3 weeks since I've played this guitar because I've been out of town. And it's brand new, so... So it's opening up a lot every day, you know? Tons of sustain on this one, tons of volume. I mean, I noticed it right away. So we'll get to this guitar last today, but before I start, you know, my, I guess you'll say more formal presentation, starting with the Tobias Berg guitar here, I wanted to ask you guys again, if you're, where you're tuning in from, let me know, say hello. If you've just tuned in here, you haven't said hello yet. And also reminding you, if you are watching this video after the fact, don't forget you can use timestamps. I always add these right after I'm done streaming so that you can find when I start presenting each particular guitar. And I know some of you watch this afterwards or on a car ride or whatever it is to hear the different guitars. So you can always leave a comment on that video too. Say hello. I love to know that people enjoy these videos after the fact as well, and that it doesn't just disappear into the abyss. So maybe we'll get to a couple different topics here today as well. So if you have any questions about really anything to do with guitar, please leave them in the comments and I will try to get to them. So we are now almost 17 minutes into the stream. So let's go ahead and start. First off, with this 2021 guitar made by Tobias Berg. Now, this guitar really surprised me. It is a completely traditionally braced guitar with so much volume, so much power, and just such beautiful tones and balance. I mean, and it leans towards the bass side, which I really like. It's got this growl to it, but it doesn't shy away from the high end here. It's very chimey treble strings here. A huge palette of colors. Now, the sides are doubled, so you could think in the style of Friederich here. I believe it's cypress or maple inside there. It's a lighter color. It's obviously not Indian rosewood on the inside of the sides, but you can see the back and sides are Indian rosewood. You have a rosette here that's red and yellow with this beautifully laced design in the center with little stripes of red and then sort of tan circles around the rosette. So take a good look at that. Let me know what you think about it. I'm a big fan of this simple rosette. It's like hardly a mosaic. Maybe it's not a mosaic at all, but it's very simple. It's very classy, and that's really the best way to describe this guitar. It's very classy in terms of sound and aesthetics. Look at the headstock of this guitar. A beautifully carved design, really nice tuners, and so easy to play. So I want to play a couple of musical examples that I've been enjoying on this guitar. Listen to this. How nice is that, right? Sorry, I went a little bit out of tune. So I'm really laying into this guitar. I was mostly just the 6 strings that I wanted to drop to. But I love how I can make this guitar purr when I play quietly. It's a very deep charming sound. But then when I really push, it gets brighter and a little bit less charming, right? It feels powerful, yeah? Nice, right? I mean, something like Capriccio Arabesque works very well. Pretty nice, yeah? I really like this guitar. Boom. And it changes on a dime. The colors, you know, if you're looking for that type of colorful guitar that changes on a dime. By the way, all nylon strings on this thing. Also very malleable in terms of vibrato, that's what I was trying to say, but yes. Okay, there's a nice look at this Tobias Berg guitar from the year 2021. If you're interested in this guitar, you can write to me at my email, which is in the description of this video, or find the website in the contact form there. It's not yet on the website. I have professional photos. This guitar is in pretty darn good shape. It has been played. There's little marks, there's nail marks here on the guitar, several places, but there's not any Raschiato marks. Just little touchdowns of nails. And if you're looking carefully for those things, you can find it. And gosh, I just noticed, you know, this rosette with this red and tan color, you know, looking one more time, you see that red and tan color. You can also see that on the purflings of this guitar. It's red, and then on the outside, if my brain's not reversing things, yes, the outside you have that tan color, and it's just creates this nice halo for the guitar. Really, really nice. So, Tobias Berg, 2021. Oh, I didn't get to go through this with you. I'm spending so much time on this guitar. But as I mentioned in the quick preview of this guitar at the very start of this live stream, it comes with this super, super classy book that is that Tobias included with this guitar. And it's so nice. It has all sorts of stages of guitar building. It takes you through it all, starting with the label, and then here we go. He's measuring the woods. Here you can see the top that he's chosen for the guitar next to the back. Then, let's see, moving along this way. You can see some of the bending of the sides. And down the bracing on this page. I feel like I'm reading a book to a kid, a toddler or something, you know, the way I'm holding it towards the screen. But yeah, okay, yeah, look, you've got the bracing here. You've got a 7-fan bracing design. I mean, it's just so cool to see all of this. right? There's little shavings from the rosette. The rosette here on the left-hand side being finished. And now you can see he signed the top there and put the number. I mean, so cool. What a nice little coffee table. Oops, here's a little certificate from him too that talks about the building of the guitar and the process. Sorry, I don't want to drop it. And then the fingerboard. I mean, it's just so neat. It goes through the whole thing. And then at the very end, you know, you can see the final stages. There's the whole box closed. And he's starting the polishing process there, obviously. There's the bridge, the building of the bridge. I mean, so neat. This is such a cool thing to have with a guitar because, as I was saying at the very start of this video, I think it's one of those things that sometimes you show people some guitar that's special to you and, you know, they don't really know much else about it. And maybe you're playing them something and you can hand them that and say, look, here's this guitar being built. I think it's a really nice thing. Maybe you guys will agree. But that comes with the guitar. Okay, next up here. We have a guitar by the famous American luthier who has quite a long wait list. It's been famous for a long number of years now. This is a guitar by Eric Sahlin from the year 2013. Okay, so this guitar is 12 years old now, and it has a beautiful spruce top, traditional bracing, again fan braced, a really beautiful inlay here. Sorry for the rosette. You can see these abalone little accents there, which seems to be a running theme on his guitars, is to have this abalone inlay, because you can also find it here on the head of the guitar going down this center strip. And obviously a Boucher-inspired headstock design here. And then Graf tuners, which are of the highest quality. You hardly see any of these more. Graf has retired from tuner making, but he also still does make a super high-end model. But oh, it's not focusing. So I'm very sorry for this boring part of the video. That's tough. There we go. There are the Graf tuners. Copper, bronze here, and then nice big ebony buttons. I love it. Very easy to tune. This guitar has a nice low action with actually plenty of room left to file on the saddle. If you wanted it to go lower, you could only go a little bit lower without crazy amounts of buzzing. But let's take a quick listen to the sound of this. It's got this beautiful spruce character. The trebles. They're really crisp. Yeah, it's got a really special quality. And I'm going to tune one more time because it's been a little while since I've played this guitar. That's where I messed up. I tuned the G too sharp. Now we're perfectly in tune. In this guitar, I remember this from when I was getting to know this, and I made a video on this guitar already that's not been published. I think it comes out this week. This is also a very reasonably priced instrument, so reach out if you're interested in it. But I just remember this over the fingerboard quality here being so special. It's not just the sound of it, but the feeling. I mean, when you play these bass strings, you feel the entire guitar just like almost about to fall apart. It's vibrating so much. And I have to be honest, I love guitars that are like that. But it can't just have that. It has to have beautiful trebles as well. Especially, you expect that with a spruce top guitar. And this is all nylon strings as well. play a little bit of that targa that I played on the last guitar. And by the way, I see there are 17 people here now watching. I see Sergey from Albania. Awesome. Good to see you here. I already said hi to Ivan, but hello again from Singapore. Now I think we've got Singapore, Canada, France, of course, USA, Albania. Where else do we have? Oh, Germany. If I didn't say your country, let me know. Normally we have a regular here that's tuning in from Italy and some folks from Spain, so I'm curious if we've got Mexico, Spain, Italy, some of the more common places people tune in from. Australia, maybe? Oh, or is it too late at night for Australia? And then also anywhere over there is going to be really, really late. So anyways, let's play a little bit of Rosita by Targa. Oh, I'm messing up all over the place. Wow, I love that. Oops. Isn't that nice? Gosh. I'm not going to remember this part of the piece, so I'll stop there, but it's so nice. Nice. Oh, gosh. Very expressive guitar. Great sustain. Oh my gosh, did you hear this? Just so magical. I mean, you gotta admit. Oh, that's so nice. Well, okay. Oh my gosh, okay. Greetings from Malaysia. Love your TrueFire lessons. Oh, thank you so much. It's really nice. I didn't realize how many people would end up writing to me about these TrueFire lessons, but it's really nice to hear that. For those of you that don't know, I have like a course on TrueFire, and also now they're combined with JamPlay, and I taught guitar on there, and I have a course on all sorts of fundamentals of classical guitar technique, If you just search True Fire, spelled exactly how you would expect, and then my name, Evan Tauscher, you'll find it. But I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that course. And I teach a number of popular classical guitar pieces on there. And there's sheet music and tabs and everything. So, okay. So, this is Eric Sahlin from 2013. This one is in really amazing condition. Actually, I'm going to say 9.5 out of 10, which is crazy because this is from 2013. It's 12 years old and it's in nearly perfect condition. There's like not even nail marks underneath the strings. You can tell who's very meticulous with their guitars. And this one I'm selling on consignment. It's fantastic. I forgot to mention this beautiful plate on the back of the headstock. This little touch here. Really nice. So anyhow, let's move on to the next guitar here. And oh my gosh, this next guitar is one of my favorite guitars that have come through this shop in the past 2 years. And I happened to get it back. Kind of unfortunate circumstances. The previous owner needed to let this guitar go. This is a Daniel Friederich guitar. The absolute pinnacle of luthiery. These guitars were played on by anyone and everybody that could get a hold of one through the 80s and the 90s, and then of course still today. These are not only super beautifully crafted guitars with just stunning features, not only the rosette, but also a beautiful carved headstock. This is, of course, his concert model. This is guitar number 718 from the year 1994. But the sound on these guitars is so distinct. And I've never played a bad Daniel Friederich guitar. This one is exceptionally good. The trebles are regal. They sustain forever. And the guitar is so complete sounding. It's really deep basses and just incredibly elegant trebles that I frequently describe as regal sounds. And the sustain is just something else. I mean, now if you think any guitar can do that, you are crazy. And especially what I just did here. I am muting every other string, no sympathetic vibrations, right? If I don't mute any other strings, yeah, lots of stuff is vibrating because that's an A. Sorry, I need to tune a little bit more. But this guitar, the sustain, the fundamentals sustain, if you want to understand it that way, is just breathtaking. Okay, because I am muting every string there. Now watch if I don't mute the other strings. Hopefully you can tell. I mean, this is a live stream. I don't know if the sound is coming through in the way that I hope it to, but it is just incredible. And when you're playing this guitar, you know, this guitar has an aura to it. It's not like it's just like, okay, on paper it's got sustain, or okay, it's got clarity. There's a whole aura that comes with the sound of these that makes it sound like a Friederich guitar. And when you're trying to put your finger on what creates that aura, right? Because there's nothing literally magical about it, right? There's some way to describe it where you could be factually accurate. But when you're trying to think of ways to describe it and you're analyzing things, like, you know, how much fundamental comes through in the sustain of the notes. That's one of the ways that you can describe this aura that these Daniel Friederich guitars create, which is tons of sustain of the fundamental. And it's very fundamental forward, not overtone forward. But there's enough overtones to where it's very pleasant, very, very pleasant, and forgiving. And the way chords build and arpeggios build is in the most natural and glorious way. Like when I do this, I don't need to think about pushing one note more. It seems to just roll off my fingers perfectly. And these are the little crazy things that guitars do to you that make you truly think that some guitar is going to make you a better guitarist or sound more like X guitarist. And there are little bits of truth to that, but of course you drive yourself crazy. No guitar is going to make you a professional. It's just practice that does that. But when a chord rings off this easily, it does make you feel like you've got some sort of cheat code. And it's not just that one, right? It's And you know what? The way you can decide what volume you want to play something at is just... It's just such a precious thing that it's really hard to put a value on that, on how nice it is to be able to play whatever volume you want and the melody for all the voices to just easily come out. That's what makes these Daniel Friederich guitars some of the most desired guitars on the planet. In fact, I would be willing to wager that if you ask every living guitarist today what guitar is their dream guitar, if they could just have one, or if there's one super, super amazing guitar they've played, such a large percentage of them would say a Daniel Friederich guitar. And for that lifelong guitar that they know is just going to be something incredible. So you'll hear this all the time. People say, you know what? One time I played this Daniel Friederich guitar that just blew me out of the water, and it was the best guitar I've ever played. You hear that many times about Daniel Friedrich's, and gosh, am I fortunate to play a lot of these, but this is a very special one. Let me play a little melody here that you will recognize if you've seen any of my videos. Yep, it starts to sound all hippy-dippy, as they'd say, but it's really a spiritual experience on this guitar. And the bass strings feel so loose on this guitar. Very loose and open. Okay, I have to set this guitar down. I could spend the entire morning, afternoon, and evening playing this thing. And it is just, it's just so, so nice. My God. And you know what? I realized I mentioned at the beginning of this live stream where I just briefly went over of each of these guitars. But this is an outstanding condition, Friederich. There's almost no marks on this guitar. I mean, no Raschiato marks. One string ding that's been filled, and one little darker mark here, which was actually from a polish cloth that sat on the top of this guitar for too long. This is before my ownership of the guitar. But it's a very, it's hardly noticeable. It more looks like figuring in the wood, but that is what was there, which was also lightly polished out. And aside from that, no cracks, no repairs, absolutely beautiful. A little bit of wear to the finish right here where you rest your chest, but I'm just being extremely transparent. And what a great guitar to play. It is, I would say, about an average necked Friederich. It's not super thin, not super thick. It is on the thicker side of things, but this is one of those guitars that challenges your beliefs. It's so easy to play. The action has got to be somewhere around 2.75 here on the first string and 3.5 to 3.75 on the sixth. And you see how loud I can play on it without making a buzz? Pretty awesome. I think I said 5 minutes ago I'm going to stop playing, so I'm going to go ahead and set that guitar down. But let's read some comments here. Okay, Paul M. Oh, okay, Thanasi says, good evening from Greece. And Roskill, hello from SA. San Antonio? Nice. Good to see you. Delton, what's up, Evan? Have you ever considered featuring a flamenco guitar in your channel or store? Yes, I have considered it, and I have not done it yet. But believe it or not, in my living room, there's maybe 2 or 3 flamenco guitars in there. They're lesser priced ones. They're not super expensive flamenco guitars, but they are nice. I need to change the strings and get around to making a video soon. Dietmar, oh, good to see you. What a beauty, this Friederich. Yes, oh, I thought you would enjoy that one. It is really something else. It's a beautiful guitar. A fairly orangey finish on this one, as you know, some of the Friedrichs have. But actually, even the photography of this guitar doesn't really bring out the exact right colors. It is an orangey color to it, but it's not as orange as it might look on camera. So Dennis says, maybe you should just keep that Friederich. Yeah, Dennis, don't be the devil on the side of my shoulder here, okay? I'm trying to run a business. I know, this is the tough thing, guys. You do something like this and you have what could be said, your nose in the product, and that's a real problem. It really is a real problem. Yeah, guys, you know what? You go along that track. Yeah, why don't I just keep one Friederich, one Simplicio, maybe a couple of really nice double tops. Yeah, why not a Smallman too? Maybe a Boucher, that would be really nice. A Torres, that would be good. How about a Santos Hernandez? That'd be good. You know, it gets out of control quick. It gets out of control real quick. And all of a sudden, you have guitars instead of a house. Who finds himself in that situation here? I know there's 20 of you watching, only a few of you commenting. I know some of you are in deep. Okay, the last guitar today, we went through 4 instruments today, is a guitar made for my shop by the Canadian luthier Douglas Scott. Brand new, 2025, number 151. I also had number 150 in my shop in the past. And this is an incredible guitar. It's a traditionally braced guitar, but with all sorts of modern features. I mean, you have sound ports, 2 of them, like Ruck style ports. You've got a raised fingerboard, and you've got a little miniature tornavos, which is the best execution of a miniature tornavos that I've seen so far. What I really like about it, it's made of wood. It's ebony. You can even see the grain. You can feel the wood. It only goes a little bit into the guitar. And Douglas's reason for it, his main idea, was to offset the difference in the main air resonance that having these 2 ports have. So whenever you have ports on a guitar, whether it's like the Steve Connor style big port or smaller ports on a guitar, no matter where it is, it's going to raise the main body resonance of the guitar. But when you put something in the sound hole that, you know, whether it's short or long, it will lower the main air resonance of the guitar. And this one, being very short, only changes it a little bit. These holes, being very small, only changes it a little bit. So it balances out, and that was Doug's idea about this. And it keeps a very rich sound to the guitar. It's a very rich sounding instrument. I mean, you've got this really nice armrest, also made of ebony. It's really seamlessly integrated to where you actually don't feel it when you move your arm like this, but the comfort is there. Some armrests are really poorly integrated to where you feel a difference between the side and the armrest, and he does it so well here. Tons of nice little details, a very nicely compensated saddle, and Wingay back and sides. Not Indian rosewood or Madagascar, it's Wingay. So very, very nice. You've got his head design up here, some very smooth tuners. And without further ado, let's get more into the sound here. Maybe I could play a little bit of that Rosita by Targa. And this guitar has a full review of it already. I'll be shorter with this one just because of that fact. And it's listed on the website. And if you're looking for a super playable, brand new guitar with plenty of volume but not breaching into the double top and lattice brace zone, you would love this guitar. Listen to this. I almost remembered it, so. Wow. A really nice guitar by Douglas Scott. I mean, I'm going to venture out and say the most powerful one of his guitars that I've had in my shop. I know he was quite happy with this guitar. Really an amazing guitar with tons of sustain and so easy to play. I mean, you've got this raised fingerboard. You've got a really perfect neck. Doug set this one up exactly to my standards, which sorry if you may not like super low action, but I love low action, and I find I can push this guitar plenty without making it buzz. Okay, this has been a 2025 guitar by the Canadian maker Douglas Scott. Fantastic instrument. Can't recommend it enough. If you're interested in any of these guitars, please write an email to me. This Douglas Scott already is publicly listed on the website, but I have professional photos of all of these guitars as well as prices. Yeah, here's a chance to snag one of these before it becomes publicly available with a big public-facing video and listing. But in any case, I do these a lot of times just for fun. Sometimes I'm not quite in the mood. Today I was very excited to get on here. It's been weeks, and it's so nice to see so many of you here. There's 23 people after an hour watching this stream. So hello, and if you haven't said hello yet, now's your chance, because I am going to be leaving here in just a moment. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I'll try to answer it if I can. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do now. I'm going to look at the chat and answer some questions, and then as soon as there's a lull, I am going to leave. So thank you all so much for watching. So, okay, well, look, but sounded great for the few notes I heard. Oh, you know what? If you're still here, you get a little bonus, because I wanted to pick it up again anyways. action is miraculously low on this guitar. I mean, you hear how amazing this is. I'm not even facing the mics there, so sorry the volume wasn't quite right. The mics are over here, and I'm playing that direction just now. So, the Pierre says, the devil on your shoulder says, keep the Friederich for you. Maybe the angel on the other side says, if you keep it, you'll be able to make it heard by a lot of people and share it. Pierre, I agree, but I hate to say that's also the devil saying that. I don't need another guitar right now. But yes, it is true. It's really nice when people visit, when colleagues, friends, or customers visit. It's really nice to be able to share guitars that maybe you don't have the opportunity to play anywhere. And I have a lot of fun with it. So you guys can always write if you're in the area or in the market for a guitar. You could compare one of these guitars with a bunch of others and come away with something that you really love and make sure it's right for you. So... Dalton says, loving the channel. I think some guitar collection merch would be cool, so us guitar nerds can help further support the channel. Oh my gosh. That is really nice, Dalton. I will think about that. I have ideas, and if a friend of mine happens to be watching, he knows one that I've been talking to him about. But I've got some ideas. If you have ideas, write them to me. I'd love to hear what would be good, what you guys would buy. I was thinking coffee cups. I'm a big coffee drinker. I think that would be fun. We could all cheers in streams. And that's an easy one. But let's see. Great playing as always. Thanks, Evan, Dennis says. Awesome. DSW says, yes, I guess he's happy that, I guess you're happy that you heard some of the Friederich again. And maybe that'll be, while I answer questions, I'll just kind of noodle on this Friederich. I want to play something elegant. If my clunky hands, after all this travel, can play anything elegant. Yeah, forget it. I should stop there, but wow. Okay, I have to set these guitars down now, and now I've got to put them back in their cases, mail some guitars out, and respond to a boatload of emails. So that is the real life of what I do here. Moments just speaking to you and playing guitar. This is really, really nice, but right now there's a lot of other involved parts of this process. But wow, is this fun, you all. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I'll definitely see you next Tuesday at the same time to show off a bunch of other great guitars. And let me just say something. If you are in the market to pick out a great guitar for yourself, I couldn't think of a better time than right now for the selection that I have. And please know there are a ton of guitars that I have that aren't just not in this live streams, not on the website yet, no videos. There are a ton, maybe more than half of my guitars. I haven't gotten to recording yet. So please let me know what you're looking out for. And it could be any guitar, any dream guitar, and I can try to help find something great for you. And it's really a passion of mine to try to connect you to the right instrument. So if that means recording a video on 2 different guitars, 3 different guitars, and trying to help you decide, that's something I love doing. So please write to me. Would love to hear from you. Last few comments here. Dietmar says, not only great guitars, but the sound quality is amazing with those mics. Hey, I'm glad. You know, these Schweppes are doing me well. I really like these. I know we were talking about that in Berlin, Dietmar. Keep it up. Awesome that business is doing well. Thanks so much, Dalton. I appreciate it. I feel grateful and motivated. So that's where I'm at right now. But thank you all so much for watching. Seriously, if you're watching later, please leave a comment anyways. Let me know if you are one of those stragglers that watches it at another time. I know some people are working or in other parts of the world, obligations. It's all cool. Love to have those of you here live, but also cool to know that some people watch it after the fact. So, okay, everyone, bye-bye. Have a good rest of your week, and I'll talk to you soon.